Hi folks, Pitching News 88, we are back. Let's finish up all these. I got a lot of stars. I wish I had some good news for you. I tried everything I could think of, but this note appears to be written in a completely made-up language. Oh? And here I thought there was no puzzle too tough for you to solve. I didn't say that I couldn't solve it eventually. It's just incredibly complex. It would have taken years to invent a language like this. Find me a few more notes in this code, and I guarantee you I can translate it. But until then, I'm afraid we're at an impasse. That makes sense to a certain degree. I found a receipt inside the comic bag you gave me. Somebody made a purchase at this shop yesterday using Troy Barron's credit card. There's a list of numbers on the back of the receipt. I'm not sure what they're for, but I'll keep looking. According to the ME, Barron was already dead by the time this purchase was made. Maybe somebody at that shop got a good look at her killer. We should go check it out. Oh yeah, I've already been checking it out. I looked in the card you gave me and it was issued to a hedge fund manager by Troy Barron. There's all sorts of charges on it that were placed after his death. Party supplies, alcohol. Well, that's the victim from the bus station. Looks like somebody's already been living pretty large on his dime. Yes. Unfortunately, while they were careless enough to throw a party with it, they were smart enough to stop using it before we could catch up with them. Unfortunate. I had some old friends of mine reach out to my contacts in Nicaragua about any female assassins working for the Espinozas. Fortunately, I didn't acquire anything specific, but I did learn an interesting tidbit that I didn't know before. There's a rumor that the new leader of the Espinoza cartel is a woman, and so far, she's gone to deadly lengths to stop anybody from revealing that fact. I'm still not certain why she'd be after me, given that her predecessor and I had such a profitable arrangement, but hopefully this information will help us narrow down the list of culprits. So the leader of this gang is an actual, So the leader of this gang is actually, we might actually arrest them. That's pretty interesting. Nice digs. I'll go talk to the kid behind the counter while you take a look around. Maybe our killer left something behind during their shopping spree. Alright, so what can we find? Cell phone. Let's see. CD. Stable remover. There. Cell phone. That was. Should have picked that one up right away. Drone, feather duster, Chinese checkers, right there. Well, the kid working doesn't remember making any sales to anybody interesting yesterday, and based on how bloodshot his eyes are, I'm inclined to believe he doesn't remember much of anything. But nice we're finding the cell phone. Looks like it's broken, but maybe we can get it up and running. This board game also looks interesting. There are no other board games in the whole shop. Could be somebody left it here. Let's get to the post office and find out who. That's a very good catch. I probably would not have caught that. Alright, let's do this. Nope. There it is. Man. You got the phone up and running. Nice work, agent. Now let's see if we can figure out who it belongs to. Take a look at the call log. Maybe the last person they called can tell us something. Alright. Not the best. Okay, nice work getting the number of the last person, the owner of this phone called. Let's call it back and see who it was. Hello? Hello? Rosie? I already told you I have nothing to say to you. Don't call me again. That voice sounded familiar. I think it was the woman you and Keen talked to at the hotel, Marbel Lee. You and Keen should go have another talk with her and find out why somebody who frequents the comic shop has been calling her. Oh. There's the daily ones, but really, I gotta wait a couple hours, so I will see you guys back here. It's been Petunia's Idiot. Au revoir. Alright, folks, Petunia's Idiot, we are back. Let's continue on. I finished analyzing the game, and it's been converted to reveal the solution to a cipher. Letters on the pieces correspond to the numbers they're placed at. I'm guessing that this was left here for our killer to pick up at a later date. Compare the cipher to the numbers on the back of the receipt. The numbers become a name. Martin Anderson. No idea who he is, though. I also found a fingerprint on the board game. I ran against a system, and it belongs to a low-level CIA analyst named Arjun Mehta. Oh, I think Mr. Mehta just earned himself some company. And they say that people who spend all their time in comic book stores aren't popular. Whoops, this guy's in trouble. My boss told me that you need to talk to me. Is everything okay? It all depends on whether or not you give us a good reason for why an analyst at the CIA would be leaving secret messages for a suspected killer. Wait, what? No idea what you're talking about. I'm not up to that spy nonsense. I work behind a desk. Yeah, well, you're not going to worm your way out of this one, Mehta, because we've got proof. Show Mr. Mehta the item, agent. That board game? But hey, it was supposed to... Oh, wait, where did you get that? Well, the same comic book shop that you left it in so a murderer could purchase it. We also decoded the name on the receipt, so tell us, who are you sharing info with and why? A few months ago, I was contacted by someone from Nicaragua who said they paid big for information about operations the CIA ran during the revolution in the 80s. It's been years since all those operations had occurred. Those files didn't even seem that important, just some minor exercises. So who's Martin Anderson? Why was his name something you were passing along? He's an old spy who retired from the agency decades ago. A nobody. I figured it didn't matter. Do you think I'll lose my job? Big time. But don't worry, you'll be able to get a new one pressing license plates soon. Think I'll lose my job for selling out the American secrets? Yeah, sure. You're right. You're not going to lose your job for that. I'd like to have another chat with Mehta. He seemed like he was hiding something earlier, and I think now that he's had time to stew in custody, he'll be a little bit more forthcoming. I also checked with the hospital. They're just about to release Marbel Lee with a clean bill of health. If we get over there, we can pick her up before she goes. Marbel, thank you so much for speaking with us again. We need to ask you a few more questions. I told you everything I know. I wish I could help, but I really must get going. Yeah, right. I understand, but I just have one quick question. Does the name Rosie mean anything to you? Miss Lee, we called your number from a cellular device involved in an ongoing case. When you answered, you asked if it was Rosie. So wait, it was you who called me earlier? That's right. Can you tell us why you thought a phone we found in a comic store belonged to a woman named Rosie? Rosie is the friend who brought me to the party. After what happened, I wanted nothing to do with her, which is why I was surprised when she called. It makes sense that you found her phone in a comic book store. She brought it back from that store to the party. Can you give us any information that will help us put us in touch with this Rosie? A physical description? A last name? Well, I didn't know her last name, unfortunately, or where she lived. We just met at a bar and then went to the party. She's an older woman. Glasses, brown hair. That's all I know. Thanks for your time. We'll be in touch if we have any more questions. Met at a bar. I hope being in custody has given me some time to reflect on the value of honesty, Mr. Mehta. I already told you everything I know. See, I don't think you did. I want to know exactly how you set up an information exchange with the person who was paying you. We used burner phones to arrange time drops at the comic book shop. It was always empty, the perfect place to make the trade discreetly. I did everything to the letter because I could tell whoever was picking up this information was watching me inside the shop. But I was never even close to the person who wanted this information. All our communication was remote, I swear. No, but you saw him. You felt like he was there. If you were ever close to the person paying you for the information, then how did you know they were watching you from inside the shop? Alright, fine. I made 4 information handoffs at the shop. During the last one, there was another guy in the store. Middle-aged, kind of big, like an ex-boxer. He was dressed in coveralls. He kept looking at me like he knew who I was. He didn't say anything, but it was really freaking me out. So I got out of there as quickly as I could. Do you know anything else that could help us determine who you were delivering information to? I wish. I don't really know anything else. Meta told us they saw someone watching him in the comic book store who sounds an awful lot like that overeager janitor who's trying to get details about the case out of us. Marbel said that the phone we found in the comic book store belonged to a friend named Rosie. She could be the killer we're looking for. There's a lot to unravel if we want to solve this. We're going to need a lot of help. Wonder who we're going to send it to. As always. Mr. Rente is curious whether or not you have any new and interesting details to share with us about your investigation. So the CIA is involved in this little production too, eh? Was there any piece they won't stick their grubby fingers in? I'll go through my little black book and try to find a contact who can tell us more about the agency's involvement in all this. Agents, I've received a word that a body has been found in the baggage center at Dulles Airport. Apparently, it was found in the same area we were investigating yesterday. You need to get over there and see if it's related to our case. Oh, brother. This doesn't sound good. Man, it's so early. Find another body here. Can't be a coincidence. I think somebody's been snooping around our crime scene. Take a look around and see if you can figure out who this victim is and why they turned up at our investigation site. One of these suspects is not going to be the murderer. So passports is plural. Shirt patch. Oh my gosh. Struggling. Neck pillow. Airplane. Pouch. Interesting. Let's get our victim's body over to the ME so they can identify him. This patch we found near the body looks interesting. I think it might be government issued. We should check it against the database. These passports seem out of place. I think our victim may have had them with him when he died. Let's find out why. Different items. Okay, so that's basically just complete. Get all 10 stars, which or 5 stars. So that's what I'll do. Nice work. This patch was made for a small CIA unit assigned to Central America. There's nothing in the database saying exactly what the unit this patch belonged to is doing, but Aram should be able to find that out for us. Alright. Republic de Nicaragua. This passport is a forgery, and the pictures indicate that it belongs to the woman we talked to at the hotel, Marbel Lee. From the stamps, it's clear she used it to come from Nicaragua. But how did such a clear forgery make it through customs? Let's see if we can figure out who helped her get into the country. Maybe she's the Dawn. Interesting. This passport was given pre-clearance by the same airline Maureen DeVries works for. This would have allowed it to bypass rigorous customs screenings. There's something rotten about this airline. I think it has something to do with Maureen DeVries. We just have to prove it. Yeah, my guess is she's probably on the inside. One of the baggage clerks said he saw Maureen look around this area earlier, even though we marked it as a crime scene. When he approached her, he said that she took off pretty quickly. Let's hope she didn't manage to get her hands on what she was looking for. Alright, so let's look at this again. Hard drive. Camera. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Wow, I just found one and I just found them all. Looks like somebody was trying to dispose of this external hard drive. We better figure out what's on it. And this box is also interesting. What do you want to bet that we find something incriminating inside? Let's get it back to the post office. Alright. Well, somebody tells me that this little payday wasn't declared at customs. Whoever lost this has got to be pretty upset. Let's run an analysis on it to see if we can find any firm evidence on who it belongs to. Alright. A lot. So anyways, guys, I'm going to grab some stars. I will be back. This has been Pacini's 88. Over and out.